Dejounte Murray has had a solid season ever since coming back from his ACL injury. He played in 58 games this season, playing in limited minutes, around 25 minutes per game. He averaged 10.7 points, 4.1 assists, 5.8 rebounds on 47% field goal shooting, 37% three-point shooting, and around 80% from the free throw line. His true shooting percentage on the season was 53%, which is very low. But he has shown a lot of promise and potential in what he can be in the future. He recently sustained a right calf strain, which sidelined him the rest of this season. Before I start this video, if you like the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I do more of these player breakdowns on the channel, and I'm trying to reach 2,000 subscribers in the upcoming months. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Dejounte Murray is a 6'4" guard for the San Antonio Spurs. He is capable of playing the point guard position as well as the shooting guard position. He actually looks taller than 6'4", but that's what he is listed at, around 180 pounds with a 6'10" wingspan. He has actually played the shooting guard position a lot this season and played most off the ball and transitioned a lot, being the main ball handler and the secondary one. He's a very athletic guard, which helps him in playing above the rim, defense, and also is a very speedy guard, can turn on the brakes and just get by defenses. His offense shot creation has gotten better. He prefers to work in the mid-range, and he gets a lot of his shots off from there. When shooting in the mid-range, he is shooting at 47% on the season, attempting 149 and knocking down 71 mid-range shots. He is good at getting to his spots and taking the shots he is most comfortable with. He also is good with navigating through the pick and roll to get his kind of shot off. As the season went on, he gradually got more comfortable with looking to drive the basketball more, but not as consistently as you would want him to. And a lot of that may be fear from coming off his ACL injury, but he is crafty and find ways to slither and get to the rim. When he did drive the ball, he had a variety of finishes and was able to get to the hoop strong. He didn't attempt too many three-pointers on the season, only attempting around 1 to 2 threes each game. He attempted 90 threes on the season and made 34 of them. So looking at this, his three-point percentage isn't really all too impressive at 37%. Very low volume three-point shooter, but he does show promise as a shooter in the future. He just needs to get more opportunities at this and consistently knock them down. He doesn't seem like he is comfortable taking three-pointers or look too confident in taking them himself. He shows promise as a shooter. He just needs to get more opportunities at this and consistently knock them down. He doesn't seem like he is comfortable taking three-pointers or all too confident in himself to take them. His shooting form isn't bad. It's a high release shot, but it doesn't seem like he is confident to take more of these. In working off the dribble to create a three-point shot, he isn't good at them at all. So it seems like Dejounte might be best in growing as a catch and shoot three-point shooter. A lot of his three-point attempts comes from above the break, where he shoots the three from there at 37%. In the left corner, he shoots it at the three at 37%, and the right corner, he shoots it at 42%. There's a lot of promise he can grow as a three-point shooter, which actually I know he will continue to grow as one and start taking more in the future. He can be a really great 3-and-D guy who can create his own shot at times, as well as give some playmaking. I'm not high on Dejounte being a lead point guard yet. He struggles in playmaking and creating offense for his team in a half-court setting. At times, he seems like he questions himself a lot on the court, especially when trying to playmake consistently for this team. He isn't there yet to be a lead ball handler just yet because of this, which is why he plays majority of his times in the shooting guard role. He isn't terrible as a lead ball handler, and he isn't spectacular at it. He makes a lot of mistakes, and his shot creation isn't elite yet, where he can make up for his lack of playmaking. 4.1 assists on his season, it's solid, but he can be better at creating for this team. Another reason why his playmaking struggles a bit doesn't really have to do with him, but the fact that there is a lot of guards on this Spurs team that operate with the ball in their hands. So Dejounte isn't going to get the opportunities he would like right now. His ball handling ability has gotten better, which has helped in creating shots for himself. I really don't think he needs to become a 20 points per game scorer or even needs to go out and get that each night. I do view him at his peak to be at least an 18, 20 points per game scorer, 7 assists, 7 rebounds type of guy if everything in his development goes smooth, meaning more opportunities, he gets better as a lead ball handler, and most importantly, which is my huge concern of Dejounte, is his injuries. Injuries has plagued Dejounte so far in his young career. He does have that mindset and that grit to keep bouncing back, but I'm worried he will be plagued by injuries, and if that's the case, his development is constantly going to be set back. Now, his defense is an area where he can be very elite at, and honestly one of the best guards on that end. Just to put things into perspective, when he was 21 years old, he was named to an All-NBA defensive second team. At only 21 years old, he was named to a defensive team, which is impressive, and his defense is one of the best I've ever seen for a young guard. If he won't grow as an offensive player, you can definitely sleep at night knowing he could be a really elite defensive player in the future. This year, this Spurs team has been disappointing on the defensive end, but Dejounte, just coming off of injury, has taken strides on that end. He is currently 7th in the league in steals per game at 1.7 on the season. He has racked up 100 steals this season. His athleticism, quickness, and wingspan has really benefited him being good on that end. He's very pesky on that end, constantly pressuring the offensive player, standing his ground. I really like his ability to poke the ball loose. Sometimes players don't even see it coming, which puts pressure on the offensive player to think twice before casually playing against Dejounte. He has really good timing on when to poke the ball loose. Like, he is really a pest on the defensive end, and it's so good to see that he is willing and wants to play defense and how confident he is in himself on that end. Like, sometimes he gambles on knocking the ball loose, but he is able to recover. He is good on closeouts, rotations, overall just really good instincts as a player on that end. He has that instinct in playing passing lanes, just disrupting plays and being a nuisance on that end. Honestly, I have not seen a young player read passing lanes, picking off steals as great as Dejounte has been. Amazing hands, extremely quick as a player, has had times where he just strips the ball from a player. He does have a tendency to commit head-scratching fouls, and honestly, that is the only thing you can really criticize him on. He is locked in playing on-ball defense. He is good playing defense off the ball, just constantly active as a player. Extremely confident as a player. He is famous on his defense against James Harden earlier on the season, and that just shows he doesn't back down from anyone from that end. Not a star, he doesn't back down from anyone. The team struggled a lot as a whole defensively, but Dejounte is a good starting piece in building up a defensive culture in San Antonio. Championship teams needs that one player who is willing to lock in defensively and constantly hustle. Dejounte, I can see being that guy. He is 180 pounds, but I don't think he has to worry about bulking up too much. Maybe add on a bit more muscle, reaching to at least 190 pounds. Just needs to work and getting stronger as a player, but I don't think he needs to focus on this. He has the potential to be a defensive star in the league. Definitely someone who is going to make multiple All-NBA defensive teams, as well as his name being thrown around in Defensive Player of the Year conversations if he continues to take strides on that end. Overall, Dejounte is more defensive-minded than offensive-minded, and that is okay for a player like him. He's going to be very valuable in his potential to be a two-way player who could provide three-point shooting and working in the mid-range. He may struggle as a lead guard, but if he improves on that end, he can be a really good two-way player. He still has a lot of work to do on his game, and I worry about his injury history, but Dejounte has the tools to be a very good piece in competing on a championship team.